Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nik Muhammad Faiz Afiq Fazli, metric number 264364. This is a presentation of the determinants of operational risk in ARAMEX Logistics, a study on complete logistics services company in Dubai. This is prepared for subject corporate governance, group B, semester A192, prepared for Dr. Waeibrorheem Waemustafa. So, in this presentation, we will focus on the operational risk. What is an operational risk? Operational risk can be triggered by internal as well as external costs, usually due to inadequate supervision or breakdowns in operational process, human mistake, and network deficiencies. A company with high operational risk, for the most part usually show poor financial health, will find it harder to sustain in time of financial crisis. The risks involved with the management of machinery, facilities, and equipment needed for shipping and freight services such as supply vessels, truck, could bring about the breakdown in the business activity in the ARAMEX Logistics company. Next, we move on to the research question in this presentation. Number 1, does the operating risk result from some interaction with the internal factors? Number 2, does any external factor contribute to any organizational risk? Number 3, will the organizational risk affect the relationship between the internal and the external factor? The objective in this research are: first, to analyze the company's specific factor influencing the operating risk of selected logistic firms. Number 2, to examine the macroeconomic factors of the selected logistic company against operational risk. And number 3, to analyze the company's specific factor and macroeconomic factor regarding the operational risk of the selected logistic firms. This chapter relates to the survey of some previous writing associated with the operational risk, investigating its determinants among UAE logistic and transportation companies. The development of operational risk and its determinant consisting of firm-specific factor and macroeconomic factors. As for the methodology part, the size population in this research consists of an transportation industry in United Arab Emirates or Dubai. The company chosen here are ARAMEX Logistics. The data collected were company annual financial statement for a span of 5 years, from 2014 until 2018. And the method used here are ordinary least square (OLS) regression, or widely acknowledged as the linear regression as the statistical. And now we are on to OLS regression equation, which is the analysis of regression. OLS has led to the discovery of the relation between dependent variable and independent variable. For model 1, influence with the firm's influence with the firm specific factor, which is QR, quick ratio, add on with ACP, average collection period, add on with ROE, return on equity. For the equation number 2, influence with the macroeconomic factor on the operational risk. The macroeconomic factor here is GDP, add on with INF, inflation, add on with IR, interest rate, ER, and CGI. CGI here is corporate governance index. As for the equation number 3, it is the influence on both specific factor and macroeconomic factor on the operational risk, which combine the model 1 and the model 2 to produce the model 3 equation. Here, we're moving into the next chapter, which is finding and analysis of the study. In the first finding analysis is the descriptive statistic. As we can see on the table here, based on the descriptive statistic above, ARAMEX Logistics mean value for the operational ratio is 0.3419 when round off. This indicates for each year from 2014 until 2018, the company uses 34.19% of its revenue for its operating expenses. The standard deviation of the operating ratio is 0.0677, suggesting that there are small variance in the company operating ratio over the 5-year period, which is about 6.77%. The company average number of ROA is 0.0447, while the company mean for the ROA is 0.0629, with the standard deviation of 0.0447. The very small number in the standard deviation indicates that the gap between the ROA is very small. The company average return on asset ROA over 5 years is 6.3%, serve as the benchmark and show that ARAMEX Logistics gained 6.3% of income over 5 years on average. The low value of the standard deviation 0.04 for the average return on asset ROA suggests that only 4% variance in ROA between the 5-year period. As the macroeconomic factor, GDP has a mean of 2.94 with the standard deviation of 1.873, while the inflation recorded the mean at 2.62, the standard deviation of very small 0.9935. And as for the CG index, corporate governance index, the mean recorded here is 0.692 with the standard deviation of 0.2307. So this is the correlation data. As for the correlation, we can conclude that ROE show the highly positive correlated with the p-value of 0.015, while for the ACP, average collection period, it shows positive and medium significant correlation with p-value of 0.411. This demonstrates that the degree of operational risk will change in accordance to either firm profitability or liquidity, as shown with ROE and ACP. So here are the finding analysis of regression coefficient and ANOVA. With this study, with this data, we can conclude that it is clear that the firm-specific factors are proven to be more significantly capable of representing the influence on operational risk, as the return on equity ROE is a firm-specific selected variable to explain in the pool model 3 as shown here. 6% and significant ANOVA p-value of 0.016. Model 3 exclude all the macroeconomic factors as they are identified negligible or non-significant variables. As conclusion, operational risk has been influenced and affected by firm-specific which specifically in this study are return on equity ROE and average collection period ACP. To sum up, this finding indicates that both firm-specific factor and macroeconomic factor tend to influence the company operating risk with greater emphasis on firm-specific factor. And for the recommendation in the company, ROE has a significant relationship to the operating risk. Therefore, it is necessary to increase the profitability by using more financial leverage. ARAMEX needs to efficiently allocate idle cash to shareholders to leverage a firm, thus improving its return on equity ROE. ARAMEX should boost and preserve its liquidity position to reduce operational risk. Besides, ARAMEX should also sell any unproductive asset which do not generate any income or lower income to manage its receivable effectively by minimizing operational risk. That's all for me. Thank you.